Hello, lovely people. Welcome once again to Christ Without Borders. Now, rejection is a powerful tool, and God uses it a lot. The difficult thing is, people struggle to come to terms with it. Rejection is God's protection, and that is very important. Rejection is God's protection. Now, there's something a lot of us have to realize and come to terms with. If I don't know where you find yourself, I don't know what group, what circle you find yourself in. You see, if you have men always singing your praise, it only means one thing. It only means that you have not started and you have not set out on your journey and your purpose here on earth. You have not started. If everybody around you now, wherever you are, whatever social group you have joined, and whatever group of people you have around you, just take a brief minute, just look around. The people you have around you, the kind of friends you have around you, even family. Take a brief look and just look around and take a good look at them. If men are always singing your praise, you're telling you all this, you are that, oh, you are great, you are this, you are good, you are all that, it only means one thing. You have not started, you have not set out on your journey and your purpose here on earth. You have not set out on that journey. God uses the tool of rejection to protect his people, to protect his servants. He uses this tool of rejection that human beings hate so much and everybody wants to go far away from. He uses the tool of rejection to delete people that are not going your way, people who are not going on the same journey with you. Now, if you go into the Bible and we look at a man like Joseph, God used this tool of rejection in the days of Joseph by his own siblings. He used the tool of rejection to cause his own siblings to reject him, thereby selling him to the merchants. But little did they know that they were actually setting him up and then sending him on his journey. Joseph was okay with his siblings till God started showing him certain things. God started showing him certain dreams. He started sharing his dreams with these people, and that is when the attack and all of that started. That's when people started opposing him. That's why people started building resentment against him. If the circle you are in, they are all singing your praise and they are all smiling and having a good time, you have not started your journey. You have not started. Because the very moment you start aligning yourself, you start connecting yourself to that journey, to that purpose, to that one reason why God put you here on earth, I'm telling you, even family will reject you. Family will reject you. Family will reject you. People who you thought were friends, people you shared your secrets with, people you shared things with, big ideas with, you'll become enemies overnight. There are a lot of us, and there are many who don't set out on their journey because they become too comfortable with these people they are with family. They become too comfortable with family. They become too comfortable with friends. They become too comfortable with their social circles and think this is it. That is not it. The very moment and very time you set out to fulfill, to walk on that journey, you will be surprised. People who you thought were with you, people who you thought were in support of your dreams and your visions, they are going to become enemies overnight. And you are going to be shocked. You are going to be shocked and you will not understand. And this is it. Joseph was very shocked. He was surprised. His own siblings wanted to kill him. And then God had to use one of his brothers, Judah, to sell him into slavery and to put him on that path They actually put him in the pit. He was already in the pit. They were going to leave him there to die. Now, another man who also had to go through rejection was Jesus. The whole entire Jewish community rejected Jesus. His siblings rejected him. His siblings rejected him. So even in the life of Jesus, for whatever he had to do here on earth, Jesus was rejected. And I'm sure some of the people in the crowd who were crying and who were saying, talking and jeering and were in support that he should be crucified, I'm sure there are some people in that crowd that he healed. The same people who were singing Hosanna, within some days, were crying for his head. We were crying for him to be crucified. Are you seeing? Be very careful when human beings around you are singing your praise and praising you all the time. The very people who laid the palm branches, the very people who were putting their dress, their clothes on the road for Jesus' donkey to walk over when he was entering Jerusalem, after a few days, these same people were crying for him to be crucified. Yes, they were crying. They were saying they decided to release. They decided to set free a murderer just to have Jesus killed. Are you seeing the similarities? Be very careful of whatever social group we are part of. When you become too comfortable, you will never set out on your journey because you find it difficult separating yourself and disconnecting yourself. But that is where greatness is. Or whatever level you are in, that's not the final stage. There are always different levels, different dimensions. There are always different dimensions. The problem is a lot of us become too comfortable with people around us. We become comfortable with the guys we are hanging around, thinking this is the end, this is it, this is the best. That's not. It only means you have not set out and you have not started that journey. Because when you start, those same people you are sitting down with, more than half of them will reject you. More than half will start saying it. More than half will start calling you names. Why? Just because you want to fulfill this purpose and this agenda, this journey, this purpose, and the main reason why God put you here on earth. Rejection is God's tool. It's a very effective tool in the hands of God. It's God's tool of protection. Rejection is God's tool of protection. Another man who also went through the same thing was Moses. When the Egyptian was lashing or was beating up the Jew, and Moses going there and then ended up beating the Egyptian to death. These Jews that Moses went to defend, these Jews, the next time you saw them fighting, and he went to them and asked them, why are you fighting among yourselves? Why are you fighting among brothers? You know what they told him? Who made you a king over us? Or do you want to kill us? Just the way you killed that Egyptian. They have rejected him again. Moses was rejected by his own people. He was rejected. That action he took was to save the lives of the Jews, was to protect the Jews. But these same people, he saw them fighting, he went and he told them, who made you a king over us? Or do you want to kill us? Just the same way you killed that Egyptian. They had forgotten that he did it to protect them. So Moses was also rejected by his own people. So I hope you are seeing the similarities. A lot of us are not able to go through that phase. A lot of us prevent God from doing and then performing some of these things that He so has to do to allow us to set off and start that journey and start that reason why He put you here on earth. A lot of us interrupt it. A lot of us fight it. If you allow yourself, God will start and set you off on a journey. He will reveal a lot of things to you. There are a lot of people around you who you think are close and bosom, but they are not there. They are just there. They have been put there by the enemy to make sure you don't take that step. They have been put there to make sure you don't start that journey. That's what Jesus has told you. Anybody who decides to come after me should first of all forsake themselves, carry their cross, and then follow me. Anybody who is not ready to do this, forget about greatness. Because at every level, at every point in time, there's a form, there's a way, there's a kind of sacrifice. You have to cut certain things off. There are some people you have to move away from. It's the same thing. The same thing we saw when you read the Bible, talking about Abraham and then his nephew Lot. Abraham and Lot. It was the same thing. God never spoke to Abraham. God never showed him the promised land when he was with Lot. There are some people who have to disconnect. There are some people you have to disconnect from your life. If you can't do it yourself, God will use the tool of rejection to disconnect them from you so that you can set off and go and do what He wants you to do. To allow you to set off, to go and fulfill that purpose why He created and He has protected you up to this time. Thank you once again. This is still Christ Without Borders. Share with your friends. Like the video. Click subscribe on this video. And also click on the bell icon to be notified when the Lord leads me to come and share another message over here. So, as I'm saying, start your journey. There's no time. Start that journey. The tool of rejection is God's protection to remove unwanted people in your life, unwanted people who have attached themselves to you, to remove people who you are finding it very difficult to disconnect from. God's tool of rejection deletes, erases those people so that you can set off on that journey. Thank you once again.